for the best price. Hotel Trivago.
This is such an exciting time of year. Wedding season is upon us. I did get a wedding invitation in the mail, my first one for the summer. For those of you planning to tie the knot this summer, we have Ian Thomas from Coast Capital Savings here to give us his best tips on preparing your finances. Welcome back to CTV Morning Live, Ian. So what are some of the financial considerations you should discuss with your partner before you get married?
Yes, so money is probably one of the biggest stresses in a marriage. And everyone says, oh, it's all about, well, I never have enough. Well, there's always going to be something that's going to go on. So this is why, you want to have that financial discussion early on. So it's like, you want to have kids? Yes or no? What do you think about money? What's their philosophy? What's their experience been with it? What's the value of money? Is it to spend it, save it, give it away? So you want to be having those discussions, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to come to an agreement, but at least you understand. So especially if you have a spender and a saver, and there's eventually going to be tension. So you want to say, how do we create these compromises? How do we keep the conversation going so that you don't get into these big what are you doing type conversations?
Yeah, those are very important conversations to have, especially when entering into a partnership like that. So after the wedding is over, and the wedding itself can be very expensive, what is the best plan financially?
Goals. Where do we want to be 12 months from now, 5, 10, 20 years down the road? And again, obviously you've just gotten married, so there's that whole lifetime ahead, but you want to start saying what's important to us, and that could be cars, vacations, houses, all that kind of stuff. And you want to have a structured conversation. So one of the things we have at Coast is the Where You're At Money Chat, and it's kind of this structured, sort of simple but effective tool about how do you manage, save, grow, protect your money. And in fact, we've got a number of sort of folks that are coming in who are about to get married and sort of saying, we're planning a wedding, and so we put them through it, then they'll come in before they get married and say, are we on track? In fact, we actually had one couple that actually, after they got it, they ended up getting married in the branch. So,
in the branch?
In the branch. I'm not saying this is a relationship tool. I'm just saying that it is a very helpful tool to really have conversations that most people really don't take the time to have.
Okay, so what are some of the other things that we need to keep in mind for, people who are getting married need to keep in mind?
So basically, how are you going to do this? Is it going to be a joint account? Are you going to have separate accounts? Who's going to pay the bills? Are you going to do it together? When do you actually have to tell each other if you're spending money? Is it over a certain dollar amount? Is it over $100? Over $500? Over $1,000? How many pairs of shoes? Whatever those things are, just say when you come together and say, hey, I'm about to do something, and the other person gets to weigh in. And then the other one is to have a budget. No matter how you structure it, you got to understand how much money's coming in, how much is going out, and where it's going, and kind of who's paying for it.
We have a list of considerations here to consider. Life insurance.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a life event. So anytime you do a life event, you want to take that time to review your insurance. You used to be individuals, and now you're a couple. So you want to say, how do we make sure that our income is protected in the event of the unforeseen, right? So life insurance, critical illness, disability. You also want to look at your will, because again, so that's all the legal stuff that you want to go through and make sure that's set up properly. Your benefits through work. You don't want duplicate benefits, so making sure that you're maximizing that. But it's about the conversation, and it's not a conversation. These are big topics that not everybody's necessarily well versed in. So get some professional advice. Talk to a financial advisor and say, where do we start? How do we get going? And then they can sort of help facilitate and give some direction. Because again, regardless of what age or stage you are in life, this isn't stuff that people come across every day. So anytime you can get that independent person who can provide some guidance about stuff to think about and mediate some conversation, it's always a good thing.
Everyone needs to be on the same page.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Always on the same page.
Okay, Ian, thank you so much for that. And for more information on Ian's money-saving tips, you can check out our website, ctvmorninglive.ca. Got to be on the same page, Anne.
For sure.
Always on the same page.
Yes, great tips there, Ian. Thanks so much. We're just dealing with volume right now on your major